IHF World Junior Championships from the Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Team USA in their second game of the tournament, getting ready to take on Team Latvia. There's the head coach, David Carl, for Team USA. Artis Abols is the coach for Latvia. And Latvia coming off a shocker last night as they knocked off Canada in a shootout. EJ Radick and Tony Granato with you today, getting ready for puck drop in a game that should be very, very interesting based on last night's result.
One of the most stunning World Junior games in the history of World Junior tournaments pulled off by Latvia last night.
And Lennart Fjällbergs, we did not think he would get the start in goal again for Latvia, but he is in net again after a stunning performance last night. Brilliant in a shootout to get the win. And at the other end, Hampton Sklukinski is getting the start today for Team USA. Trey Augustine on the bench, and we are flying away here from the Canadian Tire Center. Thanks for joining us wherever you may be on this Saturday afternoon. And Tony, it'll be interesting to see the emotional swings for these young players as we get an icing. Can Latvia bring that same emotion and passion they brought to the game last night?
Well, we didn't think they were capable of having that much emotion and passion last night against the Canadians, and they had it for 60 minutes. They didn't plus, thank you. But they didn't get rattled when Canada made their push. When Canada scored a goal, they stayed the course. They believed in their goalie. They played hard. They dove in front of pucks all night, and they made it very hard for the Canadians and somehow pulled off that big upset.
So we get a face-off in the Latvian end. The two teams have played 5 times in the history of this tournament. Team USA has won all 5, but the Canadians just last year beat Latvia 10-0. And Latvia found a way to get the win. So we'll see how things unfold today. Latvia's got a very young team, the youngest in the tournament. They've got 4 16-year-old players. This is an under-20 tournament. So to have 4 16 players is kind of mind-boggling, and then 3 others that are under 17. So you'll see them on the broadcast wearing the full face protection. That is a rule in the IIHF. So that will tell you, those are the younger guys out there.
And you'll see a lot of them because they were a big part of last night's victory.
Team USA gets the big line out there. Perot with a chance, gets knocked off his stick. He comes up with it again. Sarts behind the net, and then the Latvians just look to clear it out. Kept in at the point by Minetian. They still battle along the wall, and finally the Latvians come up with it. Now the player falls down, but they come back. Korbaka got it. Send it back over to Uliansis. And now a turnover. Here's Cole Iserman, walks in the slot, just behind Danny Nelson. Minetian goes across. Ralph to the net, deflected just wide. Rebound chance, thrown to the front, and they bang it home. It's Danny Nelson. Just 1 minute and 58 seconds into the first period, and Nelson finds that loose puck and chips it into the cage, and Team USA is out to the early 1-0 lead.
And if we rewind this tape, it goes back to Latvia having the puck in their own zone, an easy chance to clear. They didn't get it out, gave U.S. some offensive zone time that they really didn't earn, and you can see the puck goes in that. There's one save, and there's the quick little chip pass out that you can see Danny Nelson sitting there with his eyes wide open, and a great play to give the U.S. and the Americans a great start.
So, Tony, you couldn't have drawn it up any better for Team USA against a team that was riding an emotional wave from last night to get an early goal, get one past their goaltender who was so good last night.
And you could see in warm-ups when they were out there, they were flying around and buzzing nice and loose, and they wanted to get to a skating game early, and because of that turnover, they got some extended offensive zone time, which led to that goal.
And David Carl said before the game, we talked to him, he said, Latvia's play last night got everyone's attention. Like, it always had his, but it got all the players' attention, and they come out to get the quick start. So we'll see if they can build on it. Puck into the neutral zone. Bounces around, it goes back to Briadis. Thrown ahead all the way down the ice. Hudson chases down. Cole Hudson, 5 assists in the game against Germany in that opening game victory, 10-4. And we got a stoppage and a hand pass.
And an amazing 5 assists, too. And here's the replay of the goal. You can see the puck movement D to D, gets the puck to the net, rebound there, and you can see the quick little pass out by Yzerman as he recovers his own rebound. Little saucer pass. Danny Nelson fights for space in front of the net, finds the open corner to get the Americans a big, important goal to get this game up and running.
Latvians chip it off the wall. Tony, one thing to watch for today, the Latvians, they are going to try to clog up the middle, right?
They are, and they're going to sit back and make the Americans dump pucks in. They're going to try to force them into turnovers outside the blue line. So far, the American skating and puck decisions been good early to not give the Latvians a chance to get going on a transition.
There's a pass ahead to Osmanis. Osmanis behind the net, 19 in the maroon. Team USA comes away with the puck. Trevor Connolly gets it ahead to Nelson. One thing I noticed early a couple times, Tone, the defensemen would look like shooting pucks wide to create rebounds off the backboards. That's what led to that first goal. Maybe staying away from the block shot.
And I'm sure that was part of the pre-scout. They blocked 40-plus shots last night. Latvia did. So the defensemen certainly don't want to get a shot block that turns into offense for the Latvians. So heads up, put it back behind the Dashers. Know that the American forwards are good down low at coming out of corners and making plays in tight areas. And that's exactly what happened on the first goal.
So Danny Nelson with the goal, his first of this tournament. He's got 2 points in the 1+ games that we've played so far, and he had 2 in the tournament last year, so already matched that number. Puck now behind Hampton Sklukinski, making his first World Junior Tournament start for Team USA from Warroad, Minnesota. He casually grabs that one, leaves it for Zeev Buliam. Buliam now up the ice to the middle. Puck knocked off his stick.
That's exactly what you talked about, clogging the middle of the zone, ice with Latvia, especially in the neutral zone. And if that happens, Americans got to be committed to just chipping pucks behind and getting the forecheck going. There, Zeeb turns it over a little bit, but Latvia gets it, ices the puck, gives the opportunity to the Americans for an offensive zone face-off with the Moore line coming on the ice.
So Zemer, Moore, and Stiga out there right now. Teddy Stiga in the lineup today. He did not play in the first game. Stiga is in, as well as number 6 Adam Kleber on defense. Paul Fisher and Joey Willis come out today. It's part of the new rules here at the World Juniors. The players on your roster can come in and out of the lineup, which I think is a great thing. And John Van Beesbrook, the GM of the U.S. team, has been someone that's been pushing for that for a while, and they finally have been able to make that happen. Puck in the neutral zone for Latvia. Long cross-ice pass there into the skates of Clausens. He's another one of those 16-year-old players. The Latvians.
One forechecker.
Yeah, they're back.
Pulling back.
Right? They're back. Here comes Moore with speed. Behind the net, Oliver Moore holding on. Takes a look, throws it through. Knocked down by Stiga. Stiga with it. He's watched there, holds on up high, goes across to Hudson. Little shimmy shake down by the goal line, throws it in front, knocked away. It's in the skates, and now picked up there by Serkins, and he flips it out.
Good first shift there for Teddy Stiga. Gets his feet wet in his first shift of the tournament. Does a real nice job in the offensive zone. Hard-working kid. We should see a lot of him in the offensive zone, just working and grinding.
Another one of the BC crowd, 6 Boston College players. Here's Hudson down the wall. Knocked off the puck there by Domers. And then out of the zone it comes. Leonard get it back to Hudson. Over to Perreault. He takes a bump. They battle along the wall. Americans come away with it. Here's Leonard. Takes a look. Throws it to the net. A deflection in front by Hudson, but stopped there. Nice stop there by Feldbergs.
Can you talk about 3 players that know each other so well? These guys, with Higgins jumping into the line, the 2 wingers that he's played with, played most of the last 3.5 years together. You can see the quick little pass here, and Leonard goes wide. He knows Higgins has his guy beaten up. Sorry, not Higgins, but you can see the defenseman way up there again. Cole Hudson goes to the net, has a great little tip at it, and blocker save by Feldbergs.
You can see Feldbergs. He's got his head right on that puck. I mean, he was dialed in last night, and they've got him for one early, but he's certainly been impressive. Latvians, they've got guys playing all over the place. It's amazing as that shot goes just wide on the blocker side. They've got players playing in 10 different leagues, Tony, in 8 countries. And they have a bunch of them playing in North America. The goaltender Felbergs is playing in the Quebec League. Have a bunch of players playing in the North American Hockey League as well. So they have been rolling from all places. There you can see Danny Nelson. He's got the first goal. The Americans lead it.
This telecast of the IIHF World Junior Championship is presented by Elite Prospects, the gateway to hockey. Download the app now and track every detail of the World Junior Championships.
Join players, scouts, and coaches on hockey's largest platform, where players showcase their game and recruiters uncover new talents. Elite Prospects, the gateway to hockey. Get the app now.
Nobody covers the game like us. This is NHL Network.
Here's a look at the Latvian bench and the coach, Artis Abols, and here's the game winner for Matejko.
And you got to remember, that
shootout.
was the 16th shot of the shootout and a first goal. So you talk about drama in the building last night. But I can tell you that bench last night for Latvia, and that game was coached as well as any game I've seen. How he kept his players in it, kept them believing, and they pulled it off.
It was Eric's Matejko, a Washington Capitals draft pick, 3rd round pick in 2024, 90th overall, and he is the captain at St. John in the Quebec League. As I mentioned, these Latvian players are kind of spread out all over the globe, and showing last night, he scored a goal in the game, and then he also got that shootout winner on his 2nd shot in the shootout. And just as we move ahead in the tournament, good for the viewers to know, if you get into a shootout situation, it's a 5-round shootout, and then after the 5th round, you can keep sending the same player over and over. And Matejko went a 2nd time, and that was the difference.
So we're talking Troy Terry
Yep.
for the Americans and the
That's
juniors.
right. We've seen
and
that.
we're talking TJ Oshie from Moore Road, Minnesota.
That's correct.
And the Olympics in Sochi.
And we remember this World Juniors several years ago now. This must be like 15 years ago or so. We had Jonathan Toews for Canada,
Yes.
and I believe it was Jack Johnson for Team USA, both having multiple shots. So just a crazy game last night, and a lot of credit to these young Latvian players, and they got their hands full again today and on short rest. But Team USA, again, talking to David Carl, Tony, they know what they're in for today, and they've got to execute. And there's a chance in front, but it just rolls off the stick of Trance. Hudson down the wall. Back up high. Durant throws it through. Plant didn't connect on that one. Latvia tries to get it out, and they do chip it out. It's Delevka out of the zone. Plant to center. Puck rolls off his stick, and a big collision there. Huge collision with Sirkins. Both guys bounce back up. Nice to be young. Puck behind the net. Into the skates of Hudson. He looks to start it out. Hudson moves it ahead. Eiserman off his stick. And Latvia tries to come the other way. In the skates there of Clausen's. Puck kicks around up to the point. Shot, glove down. That was Sartz with that shot. Glove down by Splukinski.
We're going to take a look as Plant loses the puck. Oh, we got a crashing banger there. Fortunately, both guys jump up. You can see Plant reaching for a puck, and you can see the defenseman recognizing a chance to step up and kill the play and make a big body check there. So a big hit by the Latvian player there.
Sirkins on that one.
Sirkins steps up, and big solid kid, but got planted to the game. Little wake-up call.
Got planted.
He sure did.
Team USA moves it ahead into the neutral zone. The Latvians take it away and look to come the other way. Cross corner dump. Fortescue there up the wall. Knocked back behind the net. Good opportunity there for Domers, but taken away by Bouillon and out of the zone. Eichmann looking to chase it down. Good hustle play there by Boulons, the captain, to knock it back the other way. Puck comes up high. Kept in by Fortescue, over to Bouillon. Little shimmy shake, comes into the circle, looks, fires, and just misses the mark and out of the zone. Good look there for Bouillon. Here's Fortescue now to center. He fires it into the corner, off the wall. Bounces around. Stiga's on it. Throws it back down to Ziemer. Stiga with it again. Ziemer tries to just kind of bully his way to the front, but couldn't make it. And he likes getting to that net, Tony.
He goes to that hard. That's what we expected. Greg Brown said he's one of those guys that you want to put on the ice all the time because he works so hard. Here's the Bouillon step. Walks around the checker out. The Latvian player comes out to him. And him and Hudson out there are so dynamic and elusive at the point. And it's in a game like today, you're going to see those guys coming down the wall a lot to keep pucks alive and then be involved in the offensive zone play.
Ziemer, of course, University of Minnesota. Minnesota kid, one of nine Minnesota kids on this team. I mean, they are well represented. This puck comes out to Osmanis, tries to go around. Slukinski's just going to put the glove on it and hold on.
Good play by Slukinski.
I just want to ask you, Tony, it'll be an interesting day for the goalie, right? Because I don't know if there's going to be a ton of offensive zone time, a ton of chances, but he's got to be sharp.
And right there he was. And it was the loose puck coming in, 2 forecheckers coming right in on the D. If he bumps the puck to his D, they'll get to it first, but they'll be barreled in by forecheckers. So takes the face-off, relies on the centers to win the draw. Ollie Moore's been outstanding on face-offs throughout his first game and start of this game. Latvia comes up with the puck.
Behind the net. Osmanis back up high. Shot through traffic, just misses the net. Here's Stiga now for Team USA ahead. Ziemer to Moore. Moore has that good speed. Moving down the left side. Oliver Moore with a shot. Stopped by Felbergs, and he holds on. And now we get a little pushing and shoving in the corner. Stiga involved.
As we're going to see involved throughout the game tonight. He sat out the last one. He wants to get noticed. He's got a lot of energy. And that, when you get in there, you're supposed to do that. You didn't play last game. Come in, provide some energy and emotion to it. And you knew he would, regardless of the situation. And sure enough, sticks his nose right in there, gets to the net front.
So we get a face-off back in the Latvian zone.
You can hear the referee saying enough.
Off the draw, Latvia looks to clear it out. Puck comes across, thrown through in front for Higgins. Just missed that opportunity. Pass ahead, they try to stretch it out. It goes once again to Slukinski, and he holds on. So a little shower there from Delevka, and we talked about the different representation on this team, and you can see it here. The 9 players from the state of Minnesota. There's 4 each from Illinois and Massachusetts, 3 from New York, or excuse me, 3 from Massachusetts and New York, 2 from California, and then we have 4 players from different states: Florida, Michigan, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. So Minnesota, wow, 9 representatives on this team.
And they always do a good job of producing players. That state hockey is their big high school sport, and lots of young kids love to play hockey in the state of Minnesota, that's for sure.
There's a shot through traffic, gloved down again by Slukinski, and he holds on, and going to Western Michigan, 6'2", 185, and getting an opportunity today.
Yeah, Coach Pat Ferschweiler can't speak highly enough about his goaltender there. It's a kid that stayed in Moore Road all the way through senior year in high school. Then he went on to the USHL, played in Fargo, was the best goalie in the league. He won a Clark Cup in the USHL with great numbers, and now he's doing a great job at Western Michigan.
And a 4th-round pick in 2023 of the LA Kings, so big things ahead for Hampton Slukinski. But he's focused on Team Latvia today. And we saw last night, you don't want to look past this group.
That's for sure.
And I don't think the Canadians really look past them. I give Latvia a lot of credit. They played very well in the game. Puck goes behind the net. On that play there, it was Merniks with it. He's one of those 16-year-old players. And now we get a whistle and an offside. There's Kerry Turantz. Team USA here in Ottawa. They've got the early lead. It's 1-0.
This telecast of the IIHF World Junior Championship is presented by Elite Prospects, the gateway to hockey. Download the app now and track every detail of the World Junior Championships.
Join millions worldwide on hockey's #1 destination. Follow any league, team, or talent. Track all trades and compare the players shaping the game. Elite Prospects, the gateway to hockey. Get the app now.
John, are you eating anything?
Oh, do you believe in life after love?
Tune it up, Drewski.
This ain't nothing, Joe.
Sounds pretty good right there.
You gotta put your butt in it.
Money?
Step back. Hey.
This ain't gonna fool no one, man.
You don't need a perfect shot, just the right mix to cash in on Prize Picks. Download the app.
Pre-game with the players. NHL Now, only on NHL Network.
And there's David Carl on the bench talking to one of the officials for the game today. And you can see the schedule. They opened up on Thursday with that 10-4 win over Germany. They've got Latvia this afternoon. Tomorrow, right back at it against Team Finland. That's 2:30 start, 2:30 Eastern time. And then New Year's Eve, Team USA, Team Canada. And then when we get through this preliminary round, we'll get ready for January 2nd. And that is the quarterfinal round. And that's one and done at that point. So looking forward to that. The Team USA with the 1-0 lead here, Tony. And how would you say the first 10 minutes have gone?
I think if you're Latvia, you're pretty happy. Shots are 4-4 at this time, which is pretty incredible after last night's performance and having to turn around and come back and play 15 hours later and be able to hold them to that, to only 1 goal and 4 shots is pretty impressive on how they play defensively.
And we can see from up here in our perch, right, they really do take away the middle. And so they force you to really work it and try to, it's hard to get pucks in there.
Yeah, and they got some skill, but they stay within that base. And when that skill needs to be shined, if they get an outnumbered attack or they get a rush play, they show it. But until they make the other team make the mistake, they're playing good defense and doing just like they just did there, blocking a lot of shots.
Hudson loses that puck, and it comes to Motts. He gets it, pulls up, throws it across. Off the skates there of Bouillons. Bouillons just couldn't handle that. Perreault to the front of the net. Chance in front, and Leonard got shut down by Felberg. Felberg's again coming up with a big stop. Here's Hudson. Down to the goal line to Perreault. Perreault had a couple of goals in the win over Germany. Here's Hagens. He had a couple as well. A shot, glove down by Felbergs, and he holds on. And now we get some more pushing and shoving in front of the net. You can see Leonard involved there with Sionkis. Number 10.
And a good shift there by the big Boston College line. As you can see, they get a great chance off of this recovered puck on a dump, and Leonard beats his guy to the net. And who's there but Feldbergs to make a big save. You can see Perreault finding his line mate. Tries to get it over the pad, doesn't do it. And Felsberg, you can see the battle. This is what is really impressive by Latvia. You see Leonard's a big, strong power forward, and you see Korbaka there, holds his own, pushes him to the outside, allows his goaltender Felsberg to get to the top of the crease, see that puck coming in, and makes an easy save.
So face-off now in the Latvia zone. Danny Nelson taking the draw for Team USA against David Lifshitz. Puck comes up now to Connolly. Comes back, got a little room, tries to throw it through, knocked down, and cleared out.
Probably a little too fancy. Trevor makes a great move. Connolly finding a little space, gets to the top of the circle. He's got traffic at the net. He's probably got to release that one, get those pucks going into that a little more directly.
Long stretch, too far for Nelson. He's able to chase the puck down. Korbaka there, 3 in red. It comes up high. Menedian throws it behind the net. Nice play there by Ulyanskis. And he just flips it out of the zone. Nedian is there. Just kind of throws it wildly, but the Latvians couldn't do anything with it. Team USA tries to stretch it ahead. Nelson comes up with it down the left side. Nelson looking for help, turns back. Another good stick there by Osmanis. And he just fires it in, stopped by the goaltender, Slukinski. That one came off his stick. It's funny the things that flash through your mind. It looked like that play where Mark Johnson scored at the end of the first period in 1980
against the Russians.
When that puck came in off the goaltender and kicked, it was Tretiak kicked right out into the slot. It was kind of a similar play, but Team USA was there to not allow for such bad fortune. Crazy that the memories that stay in your mind when you're watching hockey games.
That whole game stays in my mind.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So many of us who were fortunate enough to see it. That puck goes out of play. 6:38 left on the clock.
And, we can go back to that game in the 1980 game with Jim Craig and Mike Ruzioni and Mark Johnson and all those stars that were able to upset the Russians and win the gold medal. That meant so much for the growth of hockey. And really for all kids that love the game of hockey. There was an inspiration for all of us. I was a lucky kid at 16 that got to watch that and be inspired by it. And, of course, they all went on and had careers or had opportunities for pro careers, which wasn't happening a lot before that for Americans. So big moment in American development hockey.
No question. And you went on and played the National Hockey League for a bunch of years and had a great career at Wisconsin and went on to coach, and now you're here with me.
But it was because of that 80 team that opened the doors for all of us small American players to have opportunities.
It really did. And for the young Latvians who are at home watching, if they were watching that game last night, I'm sure they're inspired by the performance of their countrymen. Here's Fortescue, gets it back to Booyah. Takes a look. Once again, very passive. They just take away that middle. So Team USA is going to have to find ways to get it into that scoring area as that puck comes all the way down, and we're going to get a whistle. And now we get some pushing and shoving by the bench as the puck will come all the way back down on an icing.
And the Latvians don't have as much energy and jump as they had yesterday, but they got the smarts still of recognizing the fact that if we're going to stay in this game, we're going to have to play really disciplined defensively. Be patient. If there's no play, just chip it to the next zone. Make the Americans work through 5 guys, and holding the Americans shots 5-5 right now. And I don't know how many block shots for the Latvians, but a lot. It's been real hard for the Americans to find lanes to get the puck to the net.
Team USA wins the draw. Goes across, back down to Hudson. Takes a look for a lane, throws it through, it hits a skate. It didn't quite get there. It looked like Swoboda may have went off his skate. He was in front. Hudson now gets it back. Puck a little too far ahead there from Hensler. Boulans chases it back. Puck on the wall. And there's Boulans again, the captain. Gets it over to Radonais. Chipped ahead. Hudson is back. He'll go behind the net. And the Latvians kind of retreat again with just kind of like a 1-4. And the puck gets dumped in behind the net. Stopped there by Feldbergs. Stretch pass up. Thrown through. And now here comes an opportunity for Clausen's bad angle shot. Stopped there by Slukinski.
I mean, you can see it. They don't have a chance offensively. They pull back.
Here comes Leonard out of the net. And he's kind of pushed down, and his opportunity is just gloved down there by Feldbergs, and he gets a whistle. So the captain, Ryan Leonard, with an opportunity, will step away. Team USA with the 1-0 lead.
USA Hockey is teaching more than just a game. We're teaching kids about
teamwork, confidence, fitness, fun.
Because every kid deserves a chance to play, love, and excel. Visit USAHockey.com to learn more about the great youth hockey opportunities available for your child. Because dreaming big is one thing, getting the right start is everything.
Why do I love college hockey? college hockey.
The IIHF World Junior Hockey Championship returns to the U.S. next year for the tournament's 50th anniversary, and all session ticket packages are now on sale. Don't miss out on your chances for the best seats. Act now and see the top players in the world competing for gold in St. Paul and Minneapolis in the great state of hockey. To learn more, visit 2026.worldjunior.hockey.
I am ordering my tickets because I am going to that.
You want? Well, maybe you'll be here with me again.
I would love that.
Yeah, so would I. But for now, we play on here as Team Latvia continuing to try to take away the middle, and the Americans looking for ways to get to the net. They got the 1-0 lead on the goal by Danny Nelson early. That puck knocked off the stick of Perreault, but kept in by the Americans. It goes to the corner. Leonard is in there. He gets in the battle with Sionskis, and now it's cleared out. It's going to go all the way down. And Tony, this has been a lot of stoppages, a lot of face-offs. I gotta think this helps Latvia. I mean, this is the kind of slow kind of game. They're in it, so they're only down 1-0. The shots are, as you point out, are even, and the Americans look like they're having trouble getting the puck through to the net.
Exactly, and you know, I expected a little bit more open ice today because I expected emotionally that Latvia would be drained from what they went through last night. And you know, the Americans just have to keep skating and have to keep working, have to be recognized that the dump-ins are okay to try to get a forecheck going, try to establish some offensive zone time to continue to wear the Latvians down as this game progresses.
Good play there by Sionskis. He throws it back around. Kept in by Colin Ralph. There's a big hit along the wall as Cole Eiserman delivers that blow. The New York Islanders draft pick. Here's Nelson. Drops it off. Quick shot there. Fired wide by Connolly. Up high. Kleber. Adam Kleber in the lineup today. His first game. He did not play in game number 1 against Germany. Battle along the wall. Comes up to Ralph. Colin Ralph. Back over to Eiserman. Throws it towards the cage. Just turned aside there by Feldbergs. Battle continues in the corner. Team USA gets it up high. Kept in by Ralph. Takes a look. Throws one to the net. Knocked down. And Boulans is there for the Latvians. And in front of the net, Cole Eiserman got knocked down and was slow to get up. Here's a pass ahead now to Matejko. Got to keep an eye on Matejko. And now we're going to get a whistle and a penalty. And Team Latvia, with 2:51 on the clock here in period number 1, they're going to get the first power play opportunity.
And then this power play happens because Latvia's got the puck in the neutral zone. They don't have a play. They chip it behind the American defenseman. And Kleber goes back. You see the ref calls the tripping call here.
Cross check in front on Eiserman. No call there. And here's Kleber, Tony. Just gets the stick in. I don't know. I think Mateo, he might have just lost an edge there, and referee decides to make the call. So Kleber in the box.
And you can see Eiserman upset that he didn't draw the call there. And you can see teammate Trevor Conley trying to calm him down there. And David Carl is upset with it as well. And if I'm Latvia, I'm pointing that out. The Americans over there are a little bit frustrated. So it's important the Americans obviously get through this PK, but also stay calm. They're in the lead. They have the better team. Stay focused on the agenda.
Latvia scored 2 power play goals last night, and David Carl made a point of saying today he really liked their power play. So let's see if Team USA can hold them off. Getting ready to drop the puck now. Team USA wins the draw. Bouillon gets it over Charance, and he just fires that one all the way down. It's gloved down by Feldbergs, and he leaves it. So here comes Bouillons, the captain, over the blue line. Dumps it around the wall. Taken by Fortescue, and he just wheels it right back, and it's another shot that had to be handled by Feldbergs.
A real nice job by the Americans in the neutral zone of forcing that dump, and then most importantly having good speed to go back and be the first ones on the puck, make a little partner bump and an easy clear.
Here's Oliver Moore, gets it over to Ralph, and he fires it all the way down. Feldbergs holds it again, turns it over. Team USA looking for a quick chance there. Moore just couldn't finish. A little bit of a forced error there as Leonard was on Feldbergs and he coughed it up. They couldn't convert.
And one thing we'll see as this tournament moves along, the American penalty killers want to rely on being aggressive up the ice. They were able to do that there. Leonard forced that turnover, almost had a scoring chance out of it.
Comes back up high now. Over to Sionskis, number 10. Throws it through, turned back by Slukinski. Up high again, another shot through traffic, knocked down, and Leonard's going to clear it out. 34 seconds left on the penalty to Kleber.
Good shot blocked by Leonard there. Gets the clear, get a change, get some fresh penalty killers out there.
Burzcon, 17. Goes behind the net. That puck passed around, loose in front. Here's a chance up high. Through traffic, blocked, didn't get to the net. Ulyanskis with a good look. He gets it back. Minute left in the period. Players going down now still. Burkon's with it, back up high. Penalty is over, shot towards the net, chance in front there. Pretty skilled effort right there by Clausen as he tried to go between the legs. Under 40 seconds left in the first period. Latvia with a little push here. Team USA was able to kill that penalty. They're trying to kind of gain the territorial advantage back. Time ticks away as that puck is just up against the wall. The referee takes a look, telling the players to play on. Time ticks down. We're under 20 seconds now left.
This is interesting how long this referee is allowing this battle to go along the boards. And finally comes out.
It's cleared out. Flip back the other way. In the skates. And now Clausen's goes back. And that's going to do it for period number 1. And now Connolly gets together there with Kerbaka. And he's going to be moved out. So there's some physicality here. And that might be good for both teams right now.
Yeah, I think the most important thing, like you said a few minutes ago, is the Americans have to stay focused on what they need to do to win the game. The little individual battles play in favor of Latvia because their job is to try to frustrate the Americans.
So Danny Nelson got the Americans on the board just 2 minutes into it. They lead it 1-0. Let's send it back to the studio. Tony Luffman, Dave Starman, and John Torchetti.
This telecast of the IIHF World Junior Championship.
Getting ready for period number 2 between the United States and Latvia. 1-0 U.S. after 1. The goal scorer, Danny Nelson, on assist from Iserman and Ralph. And Tony, you know, we wondered if the Latvians would have the emotion, the energy after an unbelievable upset of Canada last night. But boy, they've come out and just done the same thing. They're blocking shots and taking away the middle.
Yeah, I'm not so sure they have that same jump, but what they got is their heads in the game. They know if they're going to stay in the game, they're going to have to do a lot of this. And this is what they dominated in yesterday from the shot blocking side of things. They were big on making sure they got shot block lanes. They were making sure that the goalie could see the puck. But an unbelievable amount of sacrifice and bruises and bumps from the Latvians on getting in front of their shots last night. We could see in this game as well the same thing. They've gotten great sticks. They sit back, they wait, give the Americans the shot from the outside and find a way to get in the lane and get break-up plays like they did here.
So we are underway in period number 2. Team USA with the 1-0 lead. Thanks to fans, hockey fans all over the U.S. joining us here on the NHL Network. E.J. Raddick and Tony Granato. Americans looking to make it 2 straight. And looking to make it 2 straight gold medals. One last year in Gothenburg, Sweden. Beating the Swedes on their home ice. And now here in Ottawa looking to do something they've never done in World Junior play, which is to win back-to-back gold medals. They're on the attack right now. Pass across. Plant throws one through off the side of the cage. Like to see more of that, Tony. Puck's at the net.
Puck's at the net. It was interesting. They got across the blue line. That's one of the first diagonal passes they've been able to get in zone, stick to stick. And Plant got it, tried to get it to the net.
And here's a break the other way. And it's going to be Matejko. He throws it in front. A shot stopped by Sklukinski. Big save. And now another turnover. It comes back into the high slot. Lovšić tries to get it, but he loses the puck. Great opportunity for Latvia and a big stop by Sklukinski.
2-0 from the center ice in, and Sklukinski makes that big save.
Wow. I mean, that was you don't get much of a better chance than that. And Matejko was the guy who had the puck on his stick. He passed it across. And Sklukinski stood tall. And then there was another turnover right after that. So not the start that David Carr wanted for his team here in period number 2.
Not at all.
And now, physical play there by Leonard, just firing. Delevka to the ice there, and that puck comes all the way down. We're going to get a whistle and an icing on Team USA.
You can see Hensler has it, just kind of gives under his stick. Here comes the 2-on-0. You can see a great pass over, very unselfish play. But most importantly on this, Hampton Sklukinski holds his positioning and was able to make a big save. Again, you can see they're on the bench there, and there's Hensler that made the turnover. An unfortunate one, obviously, was trying to go D-to-D and rolled off the stick.
Saratkis, who had that opportunity, and just kind of shaking his head on the bench. You don't get much of a better chance than that. But give a lot of credit to Hampton Sklukinski. That's a big save. Here they come again. Latvia with another chance to the net, but just couldn't connect. So the Latvians with some good opportunities here early in the second, down 1-0. Hagen's with it, throws it through. Shot blocked down. Fortescue just threw it ahead. Now it comes back. Shot from an ankle, glove down by Sklukinski, and he holds on, and we get another little tete-a-tete in front of the net.
A little rough stuff going on after. I'm not sure.
Here it is again, Tony. Saratkis had that chance. Sklukinski just really shut him down.
He did. He's standing tall. He follows it clearly, gets the left pad out there.
And Saratkis with that opportunity just doesn't go his way.
And if you're watching this game and you're thinking about last night, the Canadians getting upset by the Latvians, and then thinking that the Americans are going to come into this game and roll over the Latvians, obviously the Latvians have something to say about. But from the American side, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to have to face a little bit of struggles, figure this out, because as the tournament moves along and they advance and do the crossover games, whoever's watching Latvia defend, they're going to try to implement and add some things defensively like Latvia's playing tonight. They're in the lanes, in the defensive zone. They're making it real hard on the skilled players of the Americans so far.
Off the draw, comes back to the point. Fired down the wall by Sionkis. Behind the net, Ralph with it. And out of the zone it comes. Eichmann tried to jump on that one. Now it's Connolly, and we get a whistle and an offside. These stoppages, these whistles, this kind of playing in the mud kind of hockey is going to favor Latvia.
It is, but I just want to keep referring back to the fact that for the Americans to continue to grow as a team, you have to face situations like this that are tough.
It's not easy to win the gold medal.
It's not easy to win the gold medal. It's not easy to score and to get things going in the offensive zone the way they're defending. So to do that, you got to figure out, okay, let's simplify it. Let's be a little bit smarter on our puck decisions in all three zones. But in the offensive zone, if we have to find ways to give our forwards chances to battle at the net front in one-on-one situations by getting more pucks there.
And Minetti had fanned on that one. That right point there, for some reason, we've had a couple of defensemen fan on pucks there. And this puck is just cleared down the ice, slowly goes over the goal line, and we got a whistle and another icing. And, there is a little bit more, we talked about it in the break, right? Is that Latvia is like probably gains strength from the fact the Americans are going back at them physically, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Because again,
shows frustration.
Frustration, and if you're looking for little things in the game as the underdog to say, okay, we have a chance because this is happening. And for the Americans, again, the opportunities for them to learn how they're going to create offense against a team like this that's defending like this is a really important lesson for them.
And their coach, Artis Abel, he played for like 23 years over in Latvia in all kinds of situations. He's an intense character. There's a chance to the net. And a good play right off the face-off there as Swoboda was able to get a chance, but Feldbergs shut it down.
And these are the things that I'm talking about that the Americans have to realize to win games, to win medals. You're going to have to win stick battles and one-on-one battles in the scoring areas. And you can see Svoboda's going to jump off with his draw, find that loose puck, and be able to take it to the net to get a good scoring chance.
So we get another face-off now in the Latvia zone. And we're going to get it's like a face-off warning there, but back in comes Terrance on the draw against Merknieks. Puck comes free. And now Matejko tries to get it ahead. Hulans, 16 there for Latvia. Behind the net, bounces around. Merknieks gets it up high. Lianskis to Bulans, backs to Olanskis. Takes a look, fires through traffic, knocked down in front. And Sklukinski just finds the loose puck and holds on. Equally important, Tony, for the Americans to protect the middle.
And that was a really good job by the defensive boxing out. And you're going to see the replay here as the shot comes through to the net. You can see sticks are tied up, bodies are tied up. Sklukinski sees this the whole way and is able to jump on that puck and get a face-off to the Americans' right side of their net.
Off the draw, Team USA comes away with the puck. Fortescue watched there behind the net by Delevka. Here comes Team USA. And an opportunity, knocked down.
Another shot block.
Long pass ahead. And now Team USA regrouping again. They try to stretch it out. Comes to Bouya. William walking in, gets it over to Moore. Moore taking a look, loses the puck. Comes in front, bounces around. Moore gets it back to the point where Ziemer is. He throws one through, hits the side of the cage. Comes back to the point. Ziemer is able to hold it in. There's Moore. Moore spinning back. Leaves it for Bouya. Over to Plant. To the goal line to Moore. This was the line that gave USA a lot of energy in the second period against Team Germany, and that shot just goes up in the air and into the glove of the goaltender, and we get a whistle. The greatest sled hockey players in the world will descend upon Buffalo, New York this spring for the 2025 IPC World Para Ice Hockey Championship. Ticket information is coming soon. For the latest news and info, visit usahockey.com and click Team USA. Talk about a dynasty. Team USA with their sled team.
Amazing. And if you haven't seen the sled team play and you're in the area or you can watch it somewhere, go see it.
There's a shot by Perot, stopped by Feldbergs.
Great athletes on those para teams.
That is so difficult to do, using only your arms in there to dig. And it's competitive, it's feisty, and they have such skill, some of those guys. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Off the draw. The Latvians come the other way, and now we get a whistle, and looks like we're going to get a penalty.
High sticking call coming up against Latvia as Perot drew a penalty on the way out of the zone. First opportunity for the Boston College power play to get an opportunity on the power play.
Minor penalty, high sticking.
So Sirkin's in the box for the high stick, and Team USA on the power play.
Yeah, you can see Perot as he starts to turn a stick that was totally unintentionally underneath the chin of Mr. Perot, and I think Gabe Perot is excited to get this power play opportunity.
And he'll skate into the circle to take the draw. Ozumpala on the draw for the Latvians. Team USA wins it. They get to their set. Here's Perot down to the goal line. Into the slot. Oh, big stop there. Great opportunity for Bernovic. Turned back by Feldbergs. Here's Hagens now. Takes a look. Brnovic tries to throw it through. Good stick, deflected out of play.
And that play that they just ran was the exact play that they worked on in practice, expecting the defense to play in a diamond. They do, and when that happens, you have a little bit of a soft area there for the bumper guy, and you can see the fan there was very happy with how that save was made there. Oh, we got some loyal fans in the building, that's for sure.
Yes, we do. Got a good crowd here on a Saturday afternoon at the Canadian Tire Center. We appreciate you tuning in today as Team USA seeks a second straight gold medal at the World Junior Championships. They win the draw. Comes up high. Booyah. Perot takes a look over to Higgins. Throws it through. Backdoor. And they score! What a play. It's Ryan Leonard. What a pass and what a finish. It's a power play goal for Team USA. And they grab a 2-0 lead.
And you want to talk about the importance of face-offs, especially on a power play. The first draw, Perot wins. They get a great chance by Brnovic in the pocket. Second one, they win again. And here's the puck movement, diagonal pass, and then you can see why Higgins is going to potentially be the #1 pick in the draft next year. The vision he has, Leonard sneaks over to that side of the net and is able to come just across the goal line. Tough angle for him, but a skilled player like that handles it and chips it into the net, and a big goal for the Americans.
So he didn't get it clean, Tony, but he got enough to get it towards the net. It went off the skate of Feldbergs, and Feldbergs couldn't handle it into the cage. So a huge goal for Team USA on the power play, their first power play goal of the tournament. Ryan Leonard, his first goal of the tournament. And now they take the 2-0 lead, and we get a face-off after the shot by Yzerman. Yzerman's still ticked from earlier in the afternoon.
And again, just look at Hagen's vision there to find Leonard. And again, those three guys, Perot, Higgins, and Leonard playing together, they probably run and practice this play hundreds of times before, and you can see the great execution there.
So the power play goal for Team USA, the 2-0 lead. We'll see if they can open up Latvia a little bit more now. And Latvia, having played last night, will they run out of a little steam here? Menedian with a shot, knocked down in front, rebound by Yzerman, stopped by Feldbergs. Yzerman gets knocked down again. And now we get the players jawing at each other. We get a whistle for the icing. And you can see there, Matejko was and Yzerman were exchanging words.
Yeah, and you can see the big hit for sure, and Yzerman goes down, takes the worst of it. But again, look at Higgins here, finds that little lane back in there, and it looks like Leonard gets that out of the air, but perfect pass, perfect play drawn up, and a big goal for the Americans.
Here's Hudson now, spinning back, the corner, Connolly, applied to Menedian, leaves it for Connolly. High in the zone. Around the outside, Connolly down around the goal, tries to wrap it, stopped by the goaltender. All on the outside there, Tone.
Yeah, but I like the way the Americans gained confidence from that goal. They're skating, they're on their toes, they're committed now to being on the inside a little bit more. Looks like they got a lot of jump from that big power play goal.
Hudson with it, spinning back. Hudson holds it along the blue line. Still with it, throws it through. Shot there, stopped by Feldbergs, and he holds on, and now we get a little more pushing and shoving, and Yzerman is involved again.
And we shouldn't be surprised by that.
Not at all, not at all. Korbaka was in front, the helmets came off. But Ryan Leonard with the power play goal, and Team USA leads this one 2-0.
At BetMGM, everyone gets a welcome offer. So whether you're courtside trying to hit the over or up here trying to hit the under, or hitting that win with your crew. Yeah, see, defense. All the way up here with a same-game parlay. Yeah! BetMGM's got your back. Get your welcome offer and play with the sportsbook born in Vegas. Oh, this easy. Really?
Get up to a $1,500 new customer offer and bonus bets when you sign up now. BetMGM. Download and bet today.
Great days start with great underwear, and Tommy John makes the greatest. We know that when you're free from distractions, anything is possible. That's why everything we make is meticulously crafted from breathable stretch fabric for the perfect fit, including our sleepwear that feels even softer than it looks. When you wake up to Tommy John, each day feels better than the last because greatness is in our very fabric. Go to TommyJohn.com now for our end-of-year sale.
So there's Ryan Leonard, one of 6 Americans that were taken in the first round. Washington Capitals fans getting excited, Tony.
I think the Washington Capitals, the Wild, the Blackhawks, Vegas, Islanders, they're all excited. Look at those players they got on there.
And Perreault won those 2 draws on the power play that led to possession, which led to the goal. And that second goal, Tony, is so big in a game like this where Latvia is just looking to hang around.
Exactly, but I want to go back to what you just said about Perreault. His dad, Yannick, 63%
he was
NHL face-off magician, let's call him. He found every single which way to win face-offs. And you got to remember, Gabe is not a center.
That's
but
right.
Gabe learned from his dad, hey, learn how to do everything. You might be asked to do something that you need that's going to win you a game someday. Well, that face-off right there that they won, that they scored the power play goal from, might be that one little thing that helps them win a game today.
So you're saying it's in the genes?
Well, I think the hockey IQ and the dad recognizing that little things mean something as you grow and develop and get to the higher levels of play. You're going to need lots of little tricks to help you.
And Gabe Perreault has been just a really terrific player at BC, at the national development team as well, and looking forward to see how things unfold for him with the New York Rangers. Here's a pass to the front of the net. And Swoboda was in there. He gets knocked down in front. He's a big body. Now Bouillon to the net. He throws one up in the air. It goes over the net in the corner. Carey Tarrant's battling over there. Comes free. Throwing just a miscue there, a misconnection by Swoboda as he tried to get it to Fortescue.
Good shift there for the 4th line that's listed for the Americans.
Puck up in the air and out of the zone. William chases back, gets it to Ziemer. Throws it across to Oliver Moore. Ziemer on it. Brody Ziemer, University of Michigan standout. Excuse me, Minnesota. I don't want to make that mistake.
No, don't make that mistake. The Gophers and
my apologies to the Gophers
don't get along all that well.
No, they do not, and you know that very well. There's a chance just get knocked wide. Ziemer from his knees throws it across the crease. Was hoping for a bounce there. Puck goes up in the air, and now out of the zone as the Latvians on their heels a little bit. You got that. You made a great point, Tony. The power play goal has given the Americans some life. There's another shot to the net, just misses the mark. With the right idea, Latvians almost had a break there, but Clausen's just lost his balance. He has to go to the bench. Here's Hudson to center. Cole Hudson coming through. Puck goes to the corner. Plant goes back to Hudson. Hudson holds on, takes a look, gets it over to Moore, curls, fires, a chance in front. Perreault had that puck, just couldn't keep his balance to put it into the cage behind Feldbergs. Now it's coming the other way. Serkins with a shot. That goes out of play. And now once again we get some more pushing and shoving.
Well, you talk about a skilled player. The Serkins kid gets to the middle of the ice, a little crossover move here, gets to shooting position, snaps one up that Slukinski has to be sharp at, gets his arm up to make that save, but that thing was dialed in for just under the bar. And you can see he has the cage on, which shows that he is a young player. And you got to look at the average age. It's just really incredible that if you look at it's a year difference. It's 18 years old, just over, and the Americans are 19
years, 3 months.
3 months.
I mean, when you have 4 16-year-olds, I mean, it's unusual to have one 16-year-old in this tournament on your team. They have 4, and they have 3 other 17-year-olds.
And they're playing major roles on their team. So it shows the future for Latvian, and Latvia has some bright opportunities in front of them to put together some really good hockey teams.
As the puck goes behind the net wide, Colin Ralph with it. Starts the other way. They tried to stretch it out there to Hagens. Got knocked down. Manetian with it. And now the Latvians regroup in their own end. Motz throws it ahead. Goes off the wall. A touch pass, nobody home. Perot is there. Americans with possession. They give it right back, though. Puck off the wall. Here's Motz now coming down his off-wing side. Skips loose. Chance in front. Sklukinski keeps it out. They battle. It's still underneath them, and now finally we get a whistle. Domers jumped in there after Motz. But once again, Hampton Sklukinski holding down the fort.
You can see as the Latvia player drives wide, the loose puck is sitting there, and Sklukinski again stands tall, makes a good kick save out there to keep the shutout going for the Americans.
It looks like we're going to get a couple of penalties here.
Team Latvia, player number 15, minor penalty for roughing. Team USA.
We get a nice camera angle there from our referee cam, and you can see the action and the intensity and the battles that are going around at the net fronts. Is where the coincidental minors come. You can see Captain Leonard in the box for the Americans.
Referees in today's game, Rico Brander from Finland and Jan Rybak from the Czech Republic. So they're trying to keep the peace here, Tony. So Team USA with a shot towards the net, knocked away. And now down goes Murniks, and we're going to get a tripping penalty coming up. And now Nelson is tied up there. The linesmen are trying to separate the two players. And now a couple of guys come together at the boards, and physicality is heating up in this one, Tony. It's been simmering.
Yep, and Iser's has been in the middle of most of it.
A lot of it.
Yep, and he's intense and he's competitive, and obviously Latvia is very intense and battles a lot at the net front.
Team USA, number 91, minor penalty tripping.
So there it is.
He gets his stick underneath him a little bit. Here's the hit that he tries to get the Latvian player, instead gets Trevor Connolly, and Trevor's like, hey, I'm on your team. I know you're wound up and you want to run, guys, but do not run me.
So Iserman in the box. There's Connolly on the bench. So the power play opportunity here, the second power play of the game for the Latvians, and we talked about how they scored 2 power play goals against Canada last night. They're 0 for 1 in this one. Lifshitz is able to win the draw. They get it back to Boulans. Goes across. Now back up high. The captain with it. Lifshitz walks down. That shot deflects just wide. Osmanis with it in the corner. 19. Joined over there by Saratskis. 27. Comes free. And Swoboda just chips it down. He'll go for a change.
Good puck battle by the Americans there as the puck went to the boards and the pressure was on, and they were able to come up with that loose puck and get the clear.
Crowd getting involved now. Here comes Lifshitz, number 7, down the left side. Good play by Bouillon, and he just fires it right back down.
Good start to the PK by the Americans. We got another penalty coming up.
So once again, Jan Rybak. Let's hear what he has to say.
Team Latvia, player number 27, minor penalty for interference.
So there it is. Marcus Saratskis, and it gets an interference penalty right there, Tony.
Yeah, you can see him step in front and take away the Americans' ice there, and good call by the ref as Ziemer gets interfered with. Gives the Americans a little bit of ice and room to work with 4-on-4, and you can see some skilled players coming onto the ice for the Americans.
Hagen's Perot out there.
They know each other pretty well.
They do, and they got Bouillon and Fortescue. And off the draw, Team USA wins the draw. And Bouillon with it. 4-on-4 play for the next minute and 10 seconds or so. And then the U.S. will have a short power play. Here's Hagens right down the middle. Pulls it back, trying to weave his way through. Doesn't get far enough. And Perot with it now. Perot off his stick, gets it back. A little bit of interference there. The play goes on. Perot tries to skate through, and again, very difficult to do against this Latvian team the way they protect the middle.
It sure is, and I thought Hagens had a chance to rip a wrister early in the shift, and
there's a chance in front, and Bouillon buries it! What a play! Hagens finds Booyam, and Booyam finds the back of the net, and Team USA extends their lead to 3-0.
And what do I know? I think Hagen should shoot more pucks, and when he gets to that area in the slot there, all he does is look off the defenders and finds an open stick to the side of the net. And we're going to see it here as he gains the middle, and Booyam opens up, and you can see the goaltender was respecting that shot. He was at the top of the crease. Hagen's little hitch there to kind of freeze the goalie, and Booyam does a great job of catching it, backing up a step to open up a better lane to the net. And a big 4-on-4 goal for the Americans.
And you said it, Tony, the 4-on-4, a little bit more room for the skilled American players. The Latvians lost a little coverage there, and Booyam had plenty of time. And to show the kind of player he is, he just took his time and finished it to give the Americans a 3-0 lead.
And that's a defenseman that had that poise at the net front to be able to recognize, if I step back a little bit, I get a better angle to put that in the empty net.
Osmanis tries to break free. He's taken out of the play by Moore, and now he delivers a blow to return the favor. Moore comes away with it. Oliver Moore. We're still playing 4-on-4. Off the wall. Stiga trying to chase it down. Teddy Stiga. Looked there by Karbaka. Puck in the corner. And it comes back to Sarts. Number 2 for Latvia. Sarts down the left side. Pulls up. Penalty now over for Team USA. So the Americans now on a short power play. 30 seconds if they can gain control, and they do. Stiga leaves it for Hudson. Hudson over the blue line. Looking to get to his set. Throws it into the slot. Great shot there by Yzerman. Stopped in front, and now Feldbergs jumps on it and gets a whistle. Nice. 17 seconds left on the power play.
Yeah, nice rush up there by our 5-point guy from the other night. As you can see, Hudson coming up the ice, loses it a little bit there, but I don't know how he sees that he's got a guy wide open in the slot, but Yzerman must have been yelling. He puts it right on his tape, and Yzerman, one of the best goal scorers in American history, gets a good quality chance there on as the end of the power play. A little bit of time left on it, but Yzerman rips one, and again, the goaltender, Feldbergs, just gets to the top of the crease and makes the save.
So Hagens with a couple more assists in this game. He assisted on both these goals in the second period.
And those plays weren't just regular assists. Those were passes that number one picks in the NHL draft make.
Elite passes. And there, Nelson wins that draw, but he won it so cleanly, went all the way back through. Coming up on 10 seconds left in the power play. The abbreviated power play. It gets chipped down the ice. Saratskis is just about ready to come out of the box. And there he comes. So we're back at 5-on-5. Here's Hudson. His shot deflected up into the netting and out of play. So Hudson gets involved a little bit again. But Team USA on the board. Booyam! It's 3-0.
Last year they won gold. Now USA looks to go back-to-back.
Hagens again!
We love us some World Juniors.
Follow the red, white, and blue as they continue their title defense versus Finland. Sunday, 2:30 Eastern on NHL Network.
Wow, DraftKings, that's an aggressive offer. Right, Paul Bizanet?
Yeah, great offer.
Biz, what's with them?
You're a business guy! I've watched a lot of hockey from the penalty box, so they make me feel at home.
Those throw pillows don't match!
It's nice to have fans.
All customers, open the DraftKings Sportsbook app to score a fresh promo every day. The crown is yours.
Guys, too far. See you tomorrow, Paul.
And so, babe, it's done.
I just sold my car to Carvana.
I just entered my license plate and I
answered a few questions. Bam!
I'm dropping it off and getting paid today.
How convenient is that?
Thanks for choosing Carvana.
Sell your car today and get paid the same day with Carvana.
There's Cole Hudson on the bench. 5 assists in the first one. His parents are here, Rob and Julie, taking it in. They know enough. They know a lot about the World Juniors. There they are.
Oh yeah.
They know a lot about World Junior play because they've had Lane as part of it last year, and now Cole this year.
And as a good big brother and former gold medal winning or defending gold medal winning player last year, Lane was here to watch game one.
There you go. You got to got to show the support.
Well,
got to show the support.
Proud big brother, and also too, he was in this tournament last year and walking in this building. I'd like to get him to smile a little more.
Yeah.
He is always so intense and focused. But man, what a heck of a hockey player to start the tournament with 5 assists the other night with his big brother and here. And his big brother, by the way, Lane's got 26 points for the Canadians as a 20-year-old defenseman.
Yep. Doing well. So the Hudson family continuing to shine on the international stage for Team USA. And they have opened up a 3-0 lead here. And we'll have to see how Latvia reacts, because they might have to open up now. And are they just running out of gas, Tony, emotionally from what they've been through in the last less than 24 hours?
Well, I know as a former player, having to play less than 24 hours later in such an emotional game, it is tough. But obviously, the way they play defensively, if they can play smart and just stay with that game plan, they probably can frustrate the Americans a little more as this game moves along.
Lietskis had a shot there that Sklukinski was able to turn aside with the pad. Here's a chance through the middle. Good defense there, and then cleared out of the zone. Clausen's tried to go right through. Big hit on the wall. And now Hagen's spinning away. Hagen's with 6 points in the tournament, second on the list right now. And we've got plenty of time left, almost a little less than half a game left to play. James Hagens has come out of the gates pretty well.
Pretty well, and most of those plays and those goals were pretty impressive.
Puck comes back into the Latvian zone. Lietskis behind his own net. Mentioned it earlier. Anaheim draft pick, 7th rounder. He's just going to hold it back there. And Team USA is going to sit in a 1-4 of their own. And now the puck, a long stretch pass. It does come through to Motts. He comes down the left side, and now the arm goes up. We're going to have another penalty. It's going to be on Team USA. He goes around the boards, knocked back down, and then Fortescue is able to get it. So a penalty for Team USA. Hensler headed to the box. Team USA leading this one 3-0.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
He shoots and scores! It's all Hughes right now.
Why pay too much for cable TV when it costs less for Fubo? Get all the channels you want, with all the entertainment you love, for the price that cable can't beat. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Smash through the action. Break the ice with On the Fly. Catch every gargantuan goal, every seismic save, plus reacts from our experts On the Fly on NHL Network.
And you can see Logan Hensler sitting in the penalty box for a hooking call right here. You can see he's trying to get his stick underneath the stick, but catches the hands of the Latvian player, and you can see it right there, and the ref's right in front of him, and it's an automatic penalty, so he goes to the box for 2.
I didn't know any Badgers ever took any penalties.
No, we're very disciplined and controlled.
Yeah.
When you come from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Jellios, Suter.
Yeah.
Those type of guys.
Yourself.
Myself, of course.
Very calm.
Very calm. Very calm.
So Latvia to the power play, their 3rd opportunity. Their last one was an abbreviated power play. They had 2 power play goals in the game against Canada. The 3-2 shootout win last night. The historic win for Team Latvia. Only their 3rd win ever in this tournament. And certainly their first win over Canada. Latvians look to get to their set. Canadian star defenseman Matthew Schaefer injured last night. He's done for the tournament. That's really sad news as just a terrific young player. So we wish him a speedy recovery as they battle on the slot. And then Bouillon clears it out. But that was just a crazy play. Matthew Schaefer, 17-year-old, draft eligible, came flying in and just ran right into the net. And he ends up, it looks like he broke his collarbone or his clavicle. And
We wish him well.
We wish him well. Had surgery today, so we wish him nothing but the best. Terrific young talent.
And we'll see a lot of them in the future.
No doubt about it. Latvia now trying to get to their set again. 50 seconds left on this power play chance. Play catch up high. Sionskis with it. Looking. Throws it to the goal line. Gets it back. Back to the goal line. They try to jam it through in front. Great opportunity from Develka in front. Delevka, and it was stopped again by Slukinski. Another chance. They miss on the tip there. Kept in by Sionskis. Gets it back. Takes a look. Fires. Blocker down in front. Underneath him. We get a whistle.
Really impressed by this Latvia power play. And you talked about it earlier. They're playing all over the world, these players, and you only get together for a week before the tournament starts, and somehow you can put a plan in place that everybody knows where they're supposed to be. Everybody knows what their options are. You can see here, great opportunity in front of the net. Again, another big save by Slukinski. Again, they see a lane to get the puck to the net. They get a good net front, a rebound chance at it. So very well organized and well coached power play.
And again, that goes to the head coach. Archer's A-Ball's done a really good job with this team. And they're looking for another. There's a chance, just goes wide. A chance to the net under Slukinski again, and he holds on, and another good look.
Another good look, and again, you can tell this play was talked about. If we get a point shot, we want the two guys on the outside, which we call flankers, coming down for rebounds. There he is right there. And that puck comes off that board hard, and there's a great opportunity for him on the rebound play. But again, you can see Slukinski and how focused he is, and him knowing that these boards are live. He's watched the game in here before. Anything that goes on the yellow straight on is going to bounce right back out, and he was able to recover and get that low part of the net covered.
Bruno Osmanis with that opportunity, number 19, and he was involved in the game last night. A couple of really important plays on that power play for the Latvians. This penalty is over now to Hensler. We're back at even strength. 3:14 and counting here in period number 2. Pass across as Leonard tried to find Fortescue. Went up high now, Hagens. Thrown through, backhand across, kicked out. Loose in front, Hagens just fans on it, and then under the glove of Feldbergs, and now we get a whistle. We're going to have another penalty.
Looks like the Americans will get another power play opportunity here, but this line again is magical from the standpoint that they make plays that other players can't make because one, they're skilled, but two, they know where each other are going to be, and they know each other so well. So some of these blind passes, you wonder, well, how does he know he's there? Well, they know how each other play. There's the high sticking in Leonard's face, and then you can see right now as Hagen's a little bit frustrated that that puck didn't go in the net, but they're going to go on the power play here. Start with the second unit.
A little captain on captain crime there as Boulons kind of giving the business to Ryan Leonard. But Team USA goes to the power play. They have a power play goal in the game that was scored by Leonard. And here Latvia gets this puck and just fires it down. Under 3 minutes here in period number 2. First period goal by Nelson. Then Leonard on the power play, and Buyum scored a 4-on-4 goal, and Team USA has the 3-0 lead. They get the entry. It comes to Eiserman. He looks, fires, and just misses the mark over the net. It goes all the way back down the ice. Slukinski is going to come out and help. Kind of
smart play.
Gets to it and leaves it behind the net for Hudson. Hudson to center. Hudson gains the zone. Leaves it over for Eiserman. Eiserman up high. Connolly with it. Trevor Connolly. Vegas Golden Knight pick. Tries to throw it in front. Ziemer couldn't connect on that one. Hudson again. Hudson is everywhere in the offensive zone.
I could watch that kid play because when he's got the puck, his elusiveness and his skating and his edges is remarkable.
There's a one-timer by Eiserman, blocked down.
And let's give Latvia credit. So you look at it, they're going to get a penalty here for shooting the puck out of the rink, and they're going to get the Americans will get a 5-on-3 opportunity. But the score is 3-0. They come off that emotional one yesterday, and they're still diving in front of shots to block. And Yzerman can hit it as hard as anybody.
Yes, he can. And Serkins with that block. Here's the penalty.
Team Latvia, number 2, minor penalty, delaying the game.
There's Serkins on the block. And then Sarge just fires that one, trying to get it down the ice.
Oh, there's the shot block. He's going to have some bumps and bruises, and as all the Latvians will. And there's the penalty. Again, an innocent play of just trying to get it 200 feet. Gets a little bit underneath it, and up over the glass it goes.
So 5-on-3 for 54 seconds. We have 1 minute and 52 seconds left in period number 2. So the penalty to Sarge will extend into the third period unless Team USA scores a couple. They win the draw. Comes up high to Bouya. Over to Brnovic. Back to Bouya. Perreault with it now. To the goal line. Leonard comes out. Takes a look. Perreault with a shot. Blocked there. Another block shot. 5-on-3 for Team USA. Bouya. Hagens. Back to Bouya. Takes a look. Perreault coming downhill. Throws it to the goal line. Leonard walks out. Good pad save there by Feldbergs. Leonard with it again. Hagens now. Leonard across, back. Hagens, he just couldn't connect on that one-timer. Throws it back up high, kept in by Leonard. Bouya with it, takes a look to Leonard. His shot, blockered aside again by Feldbergs. He's been good. Comes back to Perreault, takes a look, throws it through to Hagens, and a glove stop by Feldbergs, and he holds on, denying James Hagens.
And a couple things that were pretty remarkable on that power play. It's the movement of all of the Americans there. They weren't in a set play. So if I'm a penalty killer and I'm watching these guys skate all over the rink, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. But what they did was they collapsed. They stayed tight. And you can see the save right there. And this kid, Feldbergs, that had made 55 saves last night, has found a way to get the energy to be able to go post to post and get his glove over there to take one away from Hagens.
He plays in the Quebec League for Sherbrooke, and he played in this tournament last year. He was in relief. He gave 7 goals against Canada. That was the only action he saw last year. It's been a little different this year.
Sure has.
The first penalty is over, so we're 5-on-4 now. 55 seconds and counting in the period. Connolly tried to fire that one through, lost control. Hudson spins back. 45 seconds left in the period. Yzerman with a shot, another block. Second time, Serkins blocked that one. There's another shot through. Goes through to the corner. 35 seconds left in the period. Connolly with it. Tries to throw it through to Yzerman. Cole Yzerman spinning back. He takes a shot, deflects to the corner. 25 seconds left in the period. Team USA on the power play. Yzerman, another shot blocked by Serkins. That's 3. Wow. Serkins blocked 3 rockets from Cole Yzerman. Final 10 seconds of the period. Seymour throws it through, backhand, and Nelson buries it with a backhand up high. Danny Nelson is second of the game off the rush. Team USA connects on the power play again, and with just 5.3 seconds left in period number 2, the Americans extend their lead to 4-0.
And what a great play. Great speed on the entry. And there's our guy, Serkins, who, for me, 3 block shots. And then he races off the ice, gets to the bench, allows a teammate to get back out on the ice. But the Americans speed up the ice, recognizing this. Is you can see Nelson kicks it out. Brody Ziemer sees the lane to the net that Nelson creates with that speed. And a great little play to his backhand and gets it up over Svelsberg for a big power play. 2 power play goals and a 4-on-4 goal to kind of break this game open this period.
Tony, I love Nelson identifying that lane and just took off.
Yeah, and recognizing the fact that the period's winding down. We got one last chance to get a scoring chance, and they certainly took advantage of it.
So the clock is going to wind down, and that will do it for period number 2. But Danny Nelson with 2 in the game and a big one there, backbreaker with 5.3 seconds left in the period.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Any game you're in, when you give up a late goal in a period, it drains one team and it gives the other team energy. But you look at the penalty, the power play, and the penalty kill this period for the Americans were outstanding.
All right, let's get it back to the studio. Tony Luffman, Dave Starman, and John Torchetti. U.S. with the 4-0 lead. Period number 2, Team USA with 3 goals. Leonard, Buyum, and Nelson, his second of the game. And Team USA leads Latvia 4-0. Headed into period number 3. Welcome back to Ottawa, everybody. E.J. Raddick alongside Tony Granato. And Tony, 2 power play goals and a 4-on-4 goal in the period for Team USA. A little bit more room to move, and they showed off the skill.
They did, and those diagonal passes that they found lanes on that they didn't have in the first period was really apparent in the second period. And you can see, again, it's a power play, but you can see the little plays that they make here are exceptional. You can see a little drag, and this is the one that Hagen's got robbed on. A great pass by Perreault again with fake shots first to open up the lane. You can see Hagen zigzag through, and there's the goal by Zeev Buyum that Hagens drew everybody to him and found him back door. And then there's the last one, and the big one to finish the period off as Nelson flies down the middle and takes a great pass from Ziemer to give it Americans the 4-0 lead.
So 3 second period goals, 2 power play goals, and that 4-on-4 goal. And the Americans now with the 4-0 lead over the Cinderella Latvians, who knocked off Canada last night in a shootout. Team USA looking to finish things off in this one, and they get right to the attack. And that puck just missed Moore in front of the net. Plant with it. Throws it to the goal line in front. Ziemer just missed that chance. There's another opportunity fired wide by Hensler. So Team USA coming out quick here. Right point, it's Hensler again. Takes a look. Drops it off for Hudson. Hudson tries to get to the middle. Still holds onto the puck. Cole Hudson holding. His shot stopped by Feldbergs, and he holds on. And that one shakes up the goaltender a little bit as he's kind of on his knees, doubled over there.
Again, a great start by the Americans here as they start the Oliver Moore line and get possession in the offensive zone. You can see Hudson coming, again, using that wide part of the rink to find some space for himself, comes in and rips one, and you can see the Latvian goalie there takes one up high, and he's a little shaken up, and to be honest with you, I'm surprised that he's in the net for this period after the game last night and the 2 periods and a 4-goal.
It catches him up high, Tony. It caught him like right under the, like just up by the collarbone area, and you can see why he was shaken up.
Yeah, I thought maybe we'd see the other guy in there for this period.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye on that as Giannis Fetzers is the backup goaltender for Latvia today. And for Latvia, the big game remains to have to beat Germany because all these nice things they've done. Here's an opportunity now. A shot off the pipe, and it stays out. Levshitz had that opportunity, just hits the pipe. Here's Ryan Leonard the other way. So just off the pipe. Levshitz had that chance coming down the left side. Now here's Ryan Leonard blowing down the right wing. His shot is just wide. Just to finish that thought on Latvia, they still need to beat Germany. And they need in any fashion, really, I guess, with the points they got from Canada. But if they don't, they could still be out of the quarterfinal round. So
and with the showing last night, you know, you hope that they get a chance to advance and get a crossover game in.
That puck goes across to Ralph, throws it through. Good screen in front there. As Leonard was right in front, Feldbergs fought it off. There's a shot to the neck, turned aside, stays loose in front, and again, stopped again by Slukinski, that second chance opportunity.
Game's opening up a little bit as we start the third here.
And the Latvians have had their chances too, but it's not. There's a turnover by Slukinski in front. Great opportunity there for Mott. He just couldn't finish on it. Like that likely will not benefit the Latvians a wide open game, but you're down 4-0. You got to make something happen. Nelson gets it over to Connolly. Connolly to the blue line. Trevor Connolly throws it back through in the skates of Nelson. Nelson on hat trick watch. He's got 2 today. Latvia comes the other way, comes to the middle. Good backtracking there by Nelson. Speed is not a one-way street, Tony, right? You got to use it to defend as well.
Absolutely, and that's what has been really impressive. The forwards coming back hard for the Americans, especially through the middle. You saw Nelson come all the way back. Started in the offensive zone below the goal line, and he tracked all the way back into his zone to finish his check.
Long stretch pass goes off the official, picks around the neutral zone. Mernique's had it. He gets knocked down. Stiga the other way for Team USA. Pulls up. Watch there by Korbaka. Into the skates of Terrance. Back up high. D to D over to Hudson. Hudson looks to take a look at the net. Down below the goal line. Cole Hudson. Spinning back. Holding onto the puck. It's almost like it's attached. Cole Hudson again. Now finally goes off his stick. And Latvia clears it out of the zone. Here's Kleber now to center. He fires it in off the back wall. Brnovic tries to put pressure on. Latvia gets it out into the neutral zone. Delevka was trying to get on that, but Buljam was there. He spins back. 4 minutes gone by here in period number 3. Team USA leading Latvia 4-0. It's their second game of 4 in the preliminary round. They face Finland tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern, right here on the NHL Network. Zimmer tried to throw it through, knocked the other way, and here comes Latvia again. A little chip in. Look for a change. Delevka gets on it, Delevka, but quickly spins the other way. That puck stays on the stick of Plant. Plant takes a look, throws it through, chance in front! And Zimmer just couldn't get it past the outstretched pad of Feldbergs.
A pretty play there by Plant, and Zimmer going to the net. Almost were able to capitalize on that.
Here's Logan Hensler now with speed to center. Gets it over to Moore. Hensler going to the net. Moore throws it through. Hensler goes crashing into the boards. And now we get another skirmish behind the net as Feldbergs is able to glove that puck. And it's getting a little board meeting there. I think I got a CEO in there, a couple of finance majors.
It was interesting there. You got all 10 players by the goal line, so it'll be coming outside. You can see this chance early in the period on a 2-on-1 by the Latvians, and you can see what a shot underneath the crossbar. It meets right. The puck's going to hit right where the post meets the crossbar, and
right
bounces
down.
Out straight down.
Here's a great look.
Wow! What a rip! There's the goal cam view of it.
Yeah. So last night those pucks went in.
Yes, they did.
Just enough of them, right?
Yes, they did.
To win today, it's been more of a struggle.
Yeah, the shots are even from the standpoint 23-27. Not a big advantage for the Americans. The Americans got a lot of momentum, like we said, in the second period from that 4-on-4 goal, and then the power play got going a little bit. The skilled guys got to touch it a little bit more. And your Hagens made your 2 big plays on the goals. Perreault made some plays. Leonard was at the net front, was able to bang one home as well. And then that Nelson flying through the neutral zone late in the period.
So we get a couple of penalties out of that little scrum behind the net. Hensler for the U.S. Domers for Team Latvia. Will continue to play 5-on-5 hockey. Here comes Leonard down the right side. His shot stopped by Feldbergs. Another good save. Puck right around the net. Hagens gets on it. Hagens up high, keeps it in the zone. Really nice play by James Hagens under pressure. Puck gets deflected to the corner. Fortescue behind the net. Comes to Leonard, looks for the wraparound. It's in the skates in front. And Feldbergs is able to grab it, and we'll have another get together. And there's Hagens driving the Latvian player back into the boards.
And we're going to see a replay here, hopefully, of what we and what the Washington Capitol fans will be so excited for to get Leonard in their lineup. Big body, defends the puck here, is able to spin off. Look how quick he gets that puck to the net front, stays on it. But his down-low play, his physicality, you can see a reverse hit there to get some separation. And then as soon as he gets a little bit of space, he takes that puck to the net. And he is going to be one heck of a player for the Washington Capitals for many years to come.
So you can see the backup goaltender there for Latvia. Janis Vasiers. Got the hat on, and Feldberg's great last night. He's been good in this one.
Absolutely.
Team USA has just found a way to get some really good looks, and they've buried them. Here's another chance by Swoboda. He drove to the net and almost was able to slip one home. Swoboda had a goal in game number 1 against Germany.
A great start to the tournament for him, and for the Americans, everybody knows about the Boston College line, about how great they are. But what's been impressive for these 3 games are the other 3 lines have all contributed in one way, shape, or form.
Hudson tries to drive through. Terrance keeps it in. Sarge chasing it down now for Latvia. Throws it ahead through the skates and just fired back into the Latvian end. 13:39 and counting here in period number 3. Team USA with the 4-0 lead. Riadis behind the net. Setting it up. Long stretch ahead. Deflected in by Serkins. Stopped there by Slukinski behind the net. Throws it up the wall. Serkins is on it. I'll long remember Serkins blocking those 3 consecutive shots by Cole Eiserman.
Incredible on the PK there.
A lot of courage.
He reminds me of an old player that I coached, Carlos Scratchtons, who passed away in that plane crash as a member of Locomotive.
There's a chance in front and just cleared away by Colin Ralph.
Another great chance for Latvia there.
Lukinski got just enough of it, and Colin Ralph was there to clear it out of harm's way. Scratchkins, he was a Latvian player as well.
Latvian player that played for the Colorado Avalanche, broke the record for most consecutive games as a defenseman, and he blocked shots in practice. He could be standing in the corner in the front line of a drill, and a puck would hit him.
Yeah.
And one of those guys that was magnet, and he never flinched, never lost a smile on his face. He'd have blood dripping down his face, and he'd be right back out there. Great person that we miss dearly.
There's a shot that's deflected to the corner. You go D to D. Gerbaka taking a look to the middle. Fires, blocked down in front. Bouillon, long stretch ahead. Here's Eiserman on a break. Cole Eiserman, his shot stopped there by Feldbergs, and he holds on. So Colin Ralph saving the day in front of the net for Team USA. They lead it 4-0.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
I told y'all to run that. Come on now.
Hey guys, what are you guys doing? How'd you do that? Looks complicated.
Well, it ain't that hard. Joe, tell it, man.
It's easy. Pick more or less on at least 2 players, enter your lineup, and lock in for the game.
I could have told you that. I could have told you.
Download the PrizePicks app today. Enter $5 and get $50 instantly. PrizePicks, run your game.
Fans, the top American players eligible for this June's NHL draft will face off in Chipotle's All-American game on January the 16th at USA Hockey Arena in the Detroit suburb of Plymouth, Michigan. Opening face-off is 7 o'clock, and tickets are on sale right now by visiting usahockeyarena.com or in person at the box office. Don't miss this unique chance to see the coming stars of the NHL January the 16th at USA Hockey Arena in Plymouth. And we are back here in Ottawa, and we're joined right now by the general manager of Team USA. And with that, we get a break in and a shot over the cage there, and another opportunity, and it's Lifshitz, and he scores.
Well, the Latvians aren't going to quit. They get a chance to play in the World Junior Tournament. It's a 60-minute game, and they're not stopping. And you can see this chance comes off the face-off. They get it. The Americans actually have puck possession. They get a quick transition. They get in on a breakaway. Shot goes over the net. Kind of a funny bounce. It comes off the glass, bounces right back in front of the net. And Lipschitz, who works to get up the ice, finds a little bit of room up top and snaps it in the top corner. And a real tough play there as Suskinski doesn't know where that puck comes off the glass, ends up coming right back in the slot, and the Latvians are on the board.
So Delevka with the shot over the net, and Lipschitz buries it. He hit the pipe earlier, so that'll do it for the shutout. Latvians are on the board. It's 4-1, and as I was saying, we have John Van Beesbroek, who's the general manager here of Team USA at the World Juniors, his 7th season. Beezer, thanks for taking a few minutes.
Thanks for having me on.
I don't know if the timing is everything we'd hoped for, but we still battle on here. How do you feel about the way this one has unfolded today?
Yeah, letting guys get behind you, that wasn't the first time in this game, so it's not our identity, but it does happen, and, it was a bad break there for Hampton and the puck carrying off the glass, but that was an O-zone face-off that turned into that odd man rush, and, it's not our identity.
In this tournament, you're always working to get better, right? I mean, the good news is, these things are going to happen. You want to get better as it goes along.
You hope to, that's for sure. I mean, we've had a lot of chances. Everybody knows that Latvia played a tough game and beat Canada last night, and they have a good identity. But this is about what we do, for sure.
Yeah. That puck gets chipped off the wall and out of the zone. Fans here cheering for the underdog, as the Latvians have to open up a little bit more, and they've had their chances in the game. And Hampton, Slukinski has played very, very well. Beezer, you were a longtime goalie, one of the best in U.S. history. I mean, when you see a young kid down there in this spot, what goes through your mind?
Yeah, well, it's a great opportunity for him. Tony knows as well, these opportunities only come along so often.
Here's a little chip pass ahead. Good sliding break up there by Boulans. Puck gets dumped back in.
Johnny, do you remember your first time wearing the USA sweater back in, I believe it was Leningrad, because I think I was your teammate for that one.
Yeah, those are good memories. This World Junior Tournament has come such a long way, right? I mean, with the coverage and the big buildings and the spotlight during this time of year, for sure, it's great.
And another thing that the Americans have come such a long way. I remember when we went to our tournament, we were just hoping to make sure that we found a way to win a game or two and could compete. And the next thing you know, a few years later, the Americans go into these tournaments. And thanks to your leadership at USA Hockey, as well as being the general manager of this team, you guys go to tournaments and you're expecting to win.
Yeah, we are. And there was a day, Tony, you're right, where we were, not competing at the level we are today. It's a credit to our volunteers out there, our national team development program, and all the things that we do. But we've come a long way in the United States in the growth of the game, and we're very proud of that, for sure.
Yeah, and the one thing that I think was a really big decision, can you tell the Americans that are listening and everybody that's listening about the ADM program?
The American Development Program has really been set apart by doing things the right way for the right reasons, and I credit our group at USA Hockey that put it together with some great leadership to try something bold and to cross ice and doing some station work and making sure that everybody touches pucks and things like that. It's led to really good hockey.
Team USA looking to make something happen here in the offensive zone. 4-1. We're joined by John Van Beesbroek, one of the great goalies in NHL history, part of Team USA. There's a shot by Nelson off the pipe. Going for the
Looking for the third. He is flying out there. That big boy moves really well. Number 17 for the Americans, Danny Nelson from Notre Dame.
Yeah, one of the things with Danny, for those that don't know, he was part of our championship winning team last year, and he's really developed quite nicely into a top centerman at Notre Dame and plays with great speed.
So Nelson with a pair of goals. Team US leads at 4-1. Beezer, thanks for the time. We appreciate you jumping in.
Thanks for having me on.
US looking to close this one out next.
What are we doing today, Coach?
So, today we're going to work on our checking on...
Oh. Sorry, I heard checking.
A bit of a misunderstanding.
I meant checking on how we can help save our customers money on their car insurance.
And whether they need car, home, boat, or pet coverage.
Precisely. Now, let's go again. Susan?
Always wanted to do that.
My turn.
Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Best day of training so far.
How's your elbow?
It's killing me.
Give yourself a sweet boost with Candy Crush. Tasty. Candy Crush. Play now. Gift cards available today.
To avoid digital threats, just turn on NordVPN. Improve your protection against trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. Get the deal now.
The broadcast of this game is authorized by USA Hockey. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description of this game without the express written consent of USA Hockey and the International Ice Hockey Federation is strictly prohibited. Shot knocked down in front. I want to thank John Van Beesbrook again for stopping by.
Yep, Johnny was one heck of a teammate, one heck of a goalie, and has done a great job in his position with USA Hockey. General manager, like we said, for 7 years. He played on multiple World Championship teams, the World Junior team that we talked about back in 1983, and went on to win a Vezina, 5 All-Star teams. I mean, his list of what he's done as a player and now as an administrator and manager has been pretty impressive.
Led the Florida Panthers to a Cinderella run in 1996 Stanley Cup Finals before succumbing to the Colorado Avalanche. Shot turned aside there by Feldbergs. Among the winningest goalies in American history, the leader in that category is Jonathan Quick, who's coming up on 400. Chance in front. Bernovic almost was able to jam that home.
Bernovic, like you said, Bernovic established that position at the net front. A great play coming out of corner to get that puck to the net. And this tournament goes along. Those are the goals that the Americans are going to have to score. You're going to pay a price in front of the net, get body position, and get your stick open and look to get some tips, rebounds, loose puck battles at the net.
Nice job there by Sklokinski. Works it up the wall. Kept in by Korbaka. And now Hudson the other way. Long stretch in the skates of Leonard. He couldn't quite get to it. Nice job by Polyanskis. And here comes Latvia again. Puck gets turned over in the neutral zone. Polyanskis. Puck goes up in the air. Perot ahead to Leonard. Leonard breaking in. Spins back. Leonard fighting off Motts. Hudson now with it. D to D over to Hensler. Shot through traffic. Knocked down in front. Perot trying to get to it. And then it just cleared out of the zone by Bjorniks.
I don't know how many shot blocks they got tonight, if they can match that total they had last night against Canada, but they sure have gotten in the way of a lot of pucks.
There's a shot there by Hagens. Tried to go short side. Nice job there once again by Feldbergs to take that away. Here comes Latvia down the ice. Puck comes loose in the slot, but kicks away, and in comes Stiga, and he's got some speed. Long pass ahead on the tape of Hagens, just off his stick, and cleared back in the neutral zone. We're under 5 minutes left in regulation. Puck turned over again. Thrown towards the net, just wide on the short side. Matejko tried to keep that one in, and now it's Boulans. Throws it across. Good stick there. And the U.S. have a 2-on-1 the other way. It's Stiga, and it's Plant. Stiga to Plant, shoots, and he scores! Max Plant takes the pass, a little sauce from Teddy Stiga, and puts it in the back of the net. and the Americans lead this one 5-1.
Yeah, Dad Derek back there in Chicago as assistant coach of the Blackhawks will be proud of his son here. You can see Stiga turn this puck up ice. He's coming in on his offside, so he's got an advantage there to be a shooting threat and a passing threat. He makes a beautiful saucer pass over to Plant. Plant, look at the goalie, how he pushes over. He's got to make a good shot to get that one by him. He does. He puts it under the bar. Yeah, you can see Stiga get the defenseman to go down. There's the saucer pass, and there's the one under the bar. And Max Plant gets his first goal of the tournament. Again, at the depth and how these, whether you want to say second, third, and fourth line guys behind the BC line, they've all been able to find ways to help the Americans through the first two games.
So Team USA extending the lead to 5-1. There's Colin Ralph now with some speed. Gains the blue line. Puck comes back through. Knocked away, and the Latvians will come the other way. 2-on-2 in the corner. Good defending there by Kleber as he knocks Televka off the puck. Long stretch ahead. Here's Nelson looking for the hat trick, and he hits the pipe. Ripped a backhand off the crossbar. So close. Long pass ahead for Connolly, a little too far. 3:40 left in regulation. 5-1 Team USA. Great chance for Nelson.
And great chance, but the move was sensational. He gets it to
shovel
his backhand
on the move.
On the move at full speed. And what created the chance was the speed. The Americans get puck possession in their own zone. He takes off, gets a long pass up the wall, catches it. We call it a catch and receive pass as you're moving backwards. And within...
Here's a chance again in front for Hudson. Stopped by Feldbergs, and he holds on. So the Americans looking to finish things off. Plant with the fifth. They lead at 5-1.
The Pepsi Zero Sugar NHL Goalie Challenge is free and easy to play. Every week, pick 3 teams and earn points based on their goalie performances. Play now at NHL.com/Pepsi Goalie Challenge for a chance to score a grand prize trip to a 2025 Stanley Cup Final game.
Power through the holidays with Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the #1 longest-lasting AA battery.
Check out our new rec room.
Ooh, I see your new rec room. I raised you a treehouse that the kids and I built together.
But I'm the real hero here. Check out this new life insurance policy I scored with Ethos.
Life insurance, really?
Come on, nobody wants to be the dad without a policy.
Yeah.
How many weeks did it take you to get a policy like that?
With Ethos, try 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah, just go to ethos.com and protect your family's future. Best part, there's no medical exams.
I'm going to get Ethos right after this.
You should just do it now before you forget.
Ethos, life insurance made easy. Check your price today at ethos.com.
Hockey fans, the future stars of the NHL from across the world will be in the greater Dallas area to compete for gold in the IIHF Under-18 Men's World Championship from April the 23rd to May the 3rd. All session ticket packages are now on sale. Head to comericacenter.com to get yours today. And that is a great tournament as well. So if you're down in the Dallas area or you can make the trip, go check it out. Shot just wide from the point by Hudson. 3 minutes to go. Tony, I've been impressed with Team USA today. This was a game that, you know, it could have kind of went a lot of ways after it was 1-0 after one. The Latvians had shown the ability to defend, but Team USA has found a way to open it up here.
Yeah, and this might sound like a coach, what I'm going to say.
That's why we're here. That's why you're here.
I would much rather have a game be like this where there are some struggles, there are some frustrations, there's some stuff after the whistle, there's things that are happening in the game that are learning moments, because as this tournament moves along, if they run into a situation like this where a team's defending with 5 guys tight in the house and they play it again, they've worked through it in this game. It should give them confidence to say, okay, if we have a team that's playing against us like this, this is how we're going to have to respond. So I think for them to have to play 60 minutes, to have to battle through, score power play goals, score a 4-on-4 goal, get all 4 lines into the game, I think it's a real positive. And get your second goalie in there that you might need as this tournament goes along as well.
No question. You have to bounce back tomorrow now. 2:30 Eastern time. Play Finland. Finland has had kind of a little bit of a bumpy start here. They lost to Canada they were able to rebound and get a victory. And now we're into the deep water. Now it's going to be Finland next, and then a day off, and then Canada. And although Canada lost last night, the bottom line is they didn't really lose anything. They lost in a preliminary round game, which is maybe embarrassing. And you don't ever like to lose, but they're still in the mix.
They had 127 shot attempts.
Yeah.
So they didn't play terrible.
No.
They didn't do the right things to win the game.
Yeah.
But, let's not kid ourselves.
A lot of
when
talent.
the Americans and Canadians get together, you just don't know what's going to happen. But you will like what you see. It's going to be an exciting match with so much talent and so much pride between these two countries. The Americans can't look past Finland, that's for sure. To get ready because Finland is one of those teams, too, that can frustrate you by their team concept on how they play, especially through the neutral zone. So the Americans will have to be sharp tomorrow and then worry about Canada when that game's over.
So that one again, 2:30 Eastern Time tomorrow afternoon, right here at the Canadian Tire Center. Team USA, Team Finland. Here's Connolly to the backhand. That shot deflected away by Sarts. Throw it through. There's Eiserman with a chance. Hanging on to the puck. He's in the battle. It's been a physical game for Eiserman. He's in it again with Riadis behind the net.
Yeah, he might need a few ice bags after the game.
Well, he's earned it today. He has been working hard. And here he is again with the puck. Drags it back. Leaves it for Connolly. They get it to Nelson. Hat trick? No. Turned aside. Here's Ralph. Back to Connolly. They're looking for Nelson.
It's pretty obvious, isn't it? Yeah,
yes, it is. But you like that, right?
I love it. I absolutely, especially you got two goal scorers. You got Connolly with him as a goal scorer. You got Eiserman who's with him with his goal scorer, and you got a guy with 2 goals.
There's Bulans just walking in. He set up his teammate Levshitz, who couldn't finish it off. Puck comes up the wall, taken there by Swoboda. Coming up on 40 seconds left to play here. Team USA will get another 3 points in the standings, 2 regulation victories. They'll make it 6-0 all time against Latvia. Hudson gets it across. William had it. Puck bounces up in the air. Hudson comes down with it. Hudson rolls it through, and that puck just deflects up over the net. Under 20 seconds left.
How'd you like to be on the ice as a checker or forward on the other team when you got Bouillon on one side and Hudson on the other, and you're trying to check those guys?
Now that would be a little too much for me.
Oh, the Michigan attempt.
It looked like he was going for the Michigan there. Latvians get it, try to clear it out, and they do. Levshitz with it, but there's the horn, and that will do it. So Team USA, led by that guy right there, Danny Nelson, with a pair of goals. They win it, knock off Latvia 5-1, and they advance to 2-0 in the tournament with Finland next up, 2:30 Eastern Time tomorrow.
I thought it was an exciting hockey game. I think there was some frustration early in the game for the Americans. I think the physicality of what Latvia did and the way of defending and kind of taking away the middle of the ice in the offensive zone was hard for the Americans to battle through. But once they did, and especially that 4-on-4 goal, that kind of got them some life. And then the power play gets going. And then the skilled guys get more touches in the offensive zone because they got a couple power plays in the second period. I thought you could kind of start to see them taking over. And also, too, the fatigue of Latvia. Let's not kid ourselves. You come off an emotional win like they had last night. It's going to take a lot out of you. But they battled like crazy, and they gave the Americans fits for parts of this game again, which I think is a positive thing for the Americans to have to battle through.
No question. And let's not forget Hampton Sklokinski, who made that huge save at the start of period number 2, a 2-on-0 basically for Latvia, and he was able to shut down the chance from Sirakis, and so a nice job there. And now we're getting ready for the player of the game ceremony. Any guesses, Tony? I think Danny Nelson's got to be in the mix for
2 goals, and his speed was very obvious to me tonight. I always thought he was a power forward and this and that, but that was something that I didn't know he had in his game, to be able to blow out wide speed, take the puck to the net like he did today.
For their contribution.
So the player of the game for each side will receive one of those handmade paddles.
She's the first Nurse Nations
beautifully done.
And from Latvia, the guy that blocked all those shots for me, because he's going to have a lot of bruises, and it showed how bad he wanted to win and compete today. It was very, very impressive.
Angela Wiggins.
So we're getting ready, and of course those paddles painted by indigenous artists here in Canada, and it's a special award to get because it's something so unique.
Beautiful. And Serkins is our shot blocker, by the way, again, which reminds me of Carlos Kraskin. So that's who my vote is for.
All right.
The best player for Team Latvia is number 24.
Well, there he is.
And the crowd recognize that should be the guy. They're giving him a heck of an ovation here.
Worked so hard.
And the kid's got a lot to be proud of.
Really did a nice job and put the body on the line. A lot of courage blocking those 3 straight shots from Cole Eiserman, who can rip it.
And they hurt. You can have as much equipment on as you want. They hurt.
So there it is, Danny Nelson, as we thought, the Islander draft pick.
Your pick.
Yeah, well, I think we both did good today. We both
did all right today.
2 goals in the game for Danny Nelson. And they'll take the picture, and then we'll get ready to hear the Star-Spangled Banner.
And Danny Nelson's the 4th goal of the game there at the end of the period there, I thought was really the backbreaker for Latvia. It's 3-0. They're hanging in there a little bit. They're having a good kill, and all of a sudden down the ice and he scores a goal.
Great work by Tony Granato and E.J. Raddick and Team USA, improving to 2-0-0-0 with an emphatic 5-1 victory over Latvia, a country that absolutely shocked the hockey world by beating Canada last night in a shootout. Here's what